evening. Welcome, everyone. My name is Tawante Peña, and I am a member of the Iowa City Human Rights Commission. On behalf of the entire group, I would like to welcome each of you here for the 14th Annual Youth Awards. This evening, we will recognize over 50 youth who have been nominated for this very prestigious award by teachers, mentors, principals, and directors of local nonprofits. Human rights are defined as rights inherent to all human beings, whatever your nationality, place of residence, sex, ethnic origin, color, religion, language, or any other status. We are all equally entitled to our human rights without discrimination. These rights are interrelated, interdependent, and indivisible. All of our honorees here tonight have made a contribution to make our community, state, country, and world a better place for their promotion and contribution to human rights causes. Let's give each one of them a very deserving round of applause and thank them for their services. We also have the honor tonight to recognize an adult who has empowered area youth to become active members in their communities by providing support and resources to assist them. Let's also give her a much-deserved round of applause. Before I introduce the mayor of Iowa City, I would like to provide the history of the Iowa City Human Rights Commission. The Iowa City Human Rights Commission was established by Iowa City's City Council on August 20th, 1963, to address racial inequities occurring within our community. The establishment of the commission made us the third city in the state to do so, with Des Moines and Davenport having already led the way. 8 days after the Iowa City Human Rights Commission was created, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would deliver his famous "I Have a Dream" speech at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Today, the Commission meets monthly to disseminate information and to educate the public on human rights, with the office branch staff of the Commission provides the enforcement necessary to fight unlawful discrimination here in our community. Current members of the Commission are myself, Adil Adams, Andrea Cohen, Joe Coulter, Jeff Falk, Shams Gonihom, Kim Harahan, Barbara Kutzko, and Eliza Willis. Before we begin the award presentation, the Mayor of Iowa City, James Throckmorton, will address our recipients. Mayor Throckmorton earned a BA from the University of Notre Dame, majoring in history, an MS in community development from the University of Louisville, and a PhD in urban and regional planning from the University of California at Los Angeles. He is currently serving his third term on Iowa City's City Council. As a member of the City Council and especially as mayor, he has vigorously led efforts to foster a more inclusive, just, and sustainable city. His specific priorities as mayor have included improving the affordability of housing, especially for low to moderate income residents, improving racial equity, producing a more walkable city, and taking effective local action to ameliorate the threat of global climate change. Please help me welcome Mayor James Throckmorton.
Thank you, Tawante. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here with you tonight, and thank goodness it stopped raining. It was quite the afternoon for a while. I also want to thank Stephanie Bowers, who's done a great job of organizing this event and all the other things she does for the Human Rights Commission, and to thank the Human Rights Commissioners themselves, many of whom are very good friends. They do an extraordinary job for the people of Iowa City, and they deserve a great deal of praise. The late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? He said a lot more, too, as we all know. All of the recipients here tonight have provided great answers to that question, and their answers have helped improve the lives of people in Iowa City, in Iowa, in the United States, and throughout the world. Representing both public and private sector schools at the junior high and high school levels, they have undertaken such notable activities as raising money to fight cancer, raising money to buy water, which would be sent to Flint, Michigan during its water crisis, and raising money to support palate surgical care for youth in Guatemala, and much more. We adults have a lot to learn from what they've done. But it's a two-way street. For good or for bad, we adults also act as role models for our city's youth. Recognizing that, it's our responsibility to embody and enact the kinds of character, ethics, and actions that our community values. I hope I'm not out of line in saying that the members of Iowa City's City Council strive to do just that. Over the last few months, we've actually been under a great deal of stress. I don't know if you've noticed. And it has to do with the transition in, leadership at the national and state level. In response to that, they've pushed several changes down our way. In response to that, the City Council has passed resolutions in support of the most vulnerable of our residents. One of those resolutions was titled Rejecting Acts of Intimidation. And we did that precisely because some candidates for major office were expressly engaging in acts of intimidation, and those acts were rebounding down to our local level with very adverse effects on many people who live here. So we adopted a resolution rejecting it. Thanks. I think such things matter a great deal. If we don't speak out for the values that we hold most dearly, nobody will. So we have to do that. Another resolution was titled Supporting a Diverse and Safe Community. And the rationale was very similar. At the moment we adopted that resolution, there were acts being taken in the Iowa City area that were endangering some of our Muslim residents, some of our Hispanic residents, some of our gay and lesbian residents, and we felt we needed to express our views about that. And as mayor, I signed something titled Mayors Against LGBT Discrimination, a letter that allied me and Iowa City with other mayors around the country who wanted to express similar views. So again, I go back to Dr. King's message, what are you doing for others? This is an important question for all of us. Volunteering for worthy causes and contributing to human rights, whether locally or abroad, enables each of us to help one another, learn the value of teamwork, promote justice, and make the world just a little bit better. I want to have a brief aside here. 2 weeks ago, I was in Baghdad, Iraq. Much to my surprise, I should tell you, I was invited along with Chris Merrill as the director of the International Writing Program by the mayor of Iraq, who happens to be the first female mayor ever in Iraq, in Baghdad at least, probably Iraq. And we had an opportunity to see a devastated country, a devastated city, trying to recover from 2 invasions, a decade-long trade embargo, sectarian conflict, and so on. And we saw people trying eagerly to improve the quality of their city. And they perfectly embodied the kind of spirit and energy and hope and enthusiasm that is required to do that kind of thing. And I came back here quite chastened, I'll tell you, because we have things so good compared to the people of Baghdad right now. And I think there's a relationship between what they're experiencing and other, well, I don't want to go too deeply into that. Take a look at this coming Saturday's Press Citizen. I have a guest opinion in the newspaper about it. So each recipient here tonight is a living example that actions matter. These youths have shaped their communities and, in some instances, even built communities. They have brought attention to social ills, social justice, and global issues. They have served as role models for their peers, acquired leadership skills, empowered themselves and others, and most importantly, embodied the value of helping others by standing up for what is right. And we have seen clear evidence of that among many of our young people over the past few months, and they deserve a huge amount of praise for their bravery. They have demonstrated that individuals can and do make a difference. So, in sum, it's a great honor for me as mayor and as a member of this great community of ours to be a part of this event and to recognize the terrific work that our youth are doing for others. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Throgmorton. Obviously, the power of change is in each one of us. My name is Andrea Cohen, and I have the honor once again of introducing this year's recipients. Before I do that, a couple of housekeeping messages. First, an apology in advance. I've been given advice on how to pronounce names first and last, and I'm going to do my best, but if I make a mess of it, please forgive me. I tried. Then a second announcement is for the recipients. When I call your names, please come up on stage. You'll receive your certificate or award, and then shake the hands of the commissioners as well as the mayor, and then remain on stage until the audience obviously erupts with great clapping. Okay? So our first recipients of the evening are both seniors at Regina High School, Sarah Lehman and Elisa Espinoza. I will. Together, they created a club and sold T-shirts to raise money to be donated for children's hospital gowns. The gowns were decorated in youth-related themes such as firefighter gowns. The idea is to make children in the hospital feel more comfortable during their stay. During their senior trip to Washington, D.C., the two students also used funds they raised as a part of this project and donated them to the Fashion Fights Poverty organization. Please, let's give a round of applause for these great two young ladies. Our next recipient is Andrew Hiengst. Andrew is a senior at Regina High School and raised money for breast cancer research in honor of his grandmother. Andrew arranged for Hills Bank and Dan's Lock and Key to donate money for every three-point basket made by members of the boys and girls basketball teams at Regina. The fundraiser was called Buckets for Breast Cancer. It raised over $2,000, so somebody do the math and tell me how many three-pointers were made. That's really going the distance. Give it up for Andrew. Up next is Andrea Adam. Andrea, also a senior at Regina High School, continues the school's long-held participation in the University of Iowa Dance Marathon. She played an integral role in raising over $16,000 for the Dance Marathon Project by arranging speakers, activities, and music. Awesome work, Andrea. I'd like to invite Sophia Wagner. Sophia is a 7th grader at Regina. She was the lead organizer in Ryan's Case for Smiles, one of the few volunteer organizations solely dedicated to helping kids feel better to heal better. The club meets once a week throughout the year to create and distribute whimsical pillowcases that give children an emotional boost and remind them that they are not defined by their illness. Volunteers collect donated fabric to sew pillowcases for children to help cope with the stress of injuries. Thank you. Sam Stein. Sam is the one who created Water for Flint. He's a senior at Regina, visited and spoke to local parishes to gather donations to purchase water for Flint. This was an ongoing project throughout the year and so far has raised $1,500. Because of his hard work, 15 cases of water were shipped to Flint. Thank you. Ellie Martinez. Ellie is a student at Van Allen Elementary and the studio ambassador for Traveling Tutus at Debut Dance in North Liberty. The mission of Traveling Tutus is to deliver the joy of dance to children who do not have access to dance education, such as chronically ill patients, special needs children, and economically advantaged youth with limited access to dance programs. In her role, Ellie organized a drop-off location at Van Allen for the Traveling Tutus during the month of February. She was in charge of the entire project, including collecting all of the donated dance apparel, as well as cash donations, in an effort to make a positive impact in the lives of others. Thank you. Lucia Wagner, Sasha Chapnik-Sorokin, and Nova Maurice. These young ladies are all seniors at City High who are elected by their peers to serve as City High's Interact Club presidents. Together, they have coordinated numerous volunteer opportunities for Interact members. They were involved in Dance Marathon, Run for Relief, a food pantry for students at City High, can drives for the Crisis Center, and sold buttons to raise funds for Syrian refugees. Our thanks to the three of you. Callie Danes, Kelsey Baylor, Casey Baylor, Kenna Short, and Ethan Sylar. Okay, we're moving across town now. These West High juniors and seniors are on the executive board of West High's 1440 Interact and have been active with the club since their freshman year. All are on the path to achieving silver cord status upon graduation, which signifies at least 400 hours of community service during their time in high school and studying in the meantime. Locally, they have volunteered with the Animal Shelter, Ronald McDonald House, Iowa Children's Museum, and local nursing homes. Thank you very much. Ethan gets to stay on stage, and he's joined by Kushi Kapoor. Both students at West High, they coordinated a March fundraiser for Iowa MOST, which stands for Miles of Smiles Team. MOST offers free cleft lip and palate surgical repair to youth in Guatemala. This surgery changes the course of lives, offering children born with a deformity a chance to feel normal and be accepted, sending them on a very different life path than they otherwise would have experienced. To date, the event has raised $14,000, which was a joint effort between City High and West High students. Thank you. Okay, here's the first one. Bihotsa James Lehartheji. That's close. Mary Liebig, Jack Bacon, Megan Tiet, Eric Thomas, and Ava Otoadese. All are volunteers with the Welcome program at City High. The program started in 2015, teaches English language skills to immigrant parents and children and to others who experience barriers to education success due to limited English proficiency. The program was developed and implemented in response to a need to support Iowa City's underserved populations. The philosophy of the program is that effective education and assimilation must be grounded in friendship, engagement, and powerful conviction that everyone is uniquely valuable. Thank you all. May I invite Miriam Keita? Miriam is a 9th grader at City High and one of the leaders of Students Against Hate and Discrimination. In addition to speaking at the protest against the Muslim ban, she has worked with the school board and the school district towards solutions to enforce anti-bullying policies. Miriam has demonstrated as a young person that one can work diligently with others to facilitate positive changes involving social justice. Thank you. Our next recipients are all from City High. It's a large group, so we've divided it into two. The first group includes Miriam and Ava Otoadese, Victor Khalil, Addie Smith, Tangela Lewis, McLean Henry, and Arjane Harris. These students created a video presented to the entire City High student body explaining the district's bullying and harassment policy. The students worked together to ensure that the video portrayed the diversity present at City High and that the video communicated students' rights to be free from harassment and bullying. Absolutely, thank you. Our second group, Alicia Estrada, Mia Kale, Emily Bywater, Ruth Lobo, Elvis Mugisha, Shabani Olivier, and Mariama Diallo. These students met with the Iowa City Community School Board and exchanged their ideas and provided input on current issues happening at schools. Their goal was to increase awareness of diversity and inclusion. Please let's give a round of applause for these young people. We're now going to recognize a large group of Willowwind students, also in two groups. The first group, Claire Sauter, Rosie Terry, Caroline House, Lucy Spinner, Ankur Karandikar, Miranda Rife, Ruby Casella, and Oriana Bloom. These 5th and 6th graders decided to create equality pins as our country has recently experienced a lot of hate and discrimination. This idea grew from the practice of wearing a safety pin to show solidarity and support for marginalized people. The students chose to make 7 different kinds of pins with colors that stand for what they believe in. Their pins represent world peace, environmental protection, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ rights, immigrant respect, and religious acceptance. It's nothing like being ambitious. Thank you. The second group, Nina Yankee, Melissa Ooch, Gilly Schmidt-Quee, Ginger McCartney, Emma Peter Schmidt, Lauren Singleton, Max Wittitz, Tiago Prue, and Catherine Nussbaum. These young ladies spent free time making pins which were shared with the Willowwind community. A table was set up in the school's lobby with 7 labeled dishes for each cause. These pins were offered at no charge to anyone who felt compelled to wear either one or several. Within the first week, the students had made 1,000 pins, all of which quickly made it out into the community. Thank you. Our last recipient of the evening is an adult who, through her work and trust in area youth, has empowered young people in our community. Sabrena Shields, please come forward. All right. Sabrena is the student family advocate at North Central Junior High School. She supports students in achieving and following goals. She assists students with problem solving, increased school performance, promotes parent engagement, and acts as a liaison between school and community resources. Sabrena has worked with youth and their families in the Iowa City area for over 3 years. She has created after-school groups within North Central. One program is for young women who meet during lunch hour at North Central. She also hosts a program for youth of color that is academically and socially based. Her observation and vision has allowed the youth in the program to feel more inspired and driven to succeed. They are able to explore the community, go on field trips, play a big role in the school community, and academically achieve higher scores. Sabrena is the calm in the storm. She is the one who will sit with a student, call a parent, give a hug, and stay late to find a tutor in order for a student to pass a class. She sees the potential of all the students, and because of her nurturing ways, she inspires the young people to excel. She has earned the respect of those she works with. Her down-to-earth and candid demeanor allows her to connect with them in a unique way. Let's give Sabrena a very well-deserved round of applause. Once again, I have had the honor of presenting the Iowa City Human Rights Commission Youth Awards to young, active, and activist members of our community. You have found many different organizations to help you take an issue you feel passionate about and done something. Take action to raise awareness or funds or advocate for. This does not leave you unaffected. You will build upon these experiences for as long as you live. Your willingness to put in the time and energy is a credit to you, your family, your school, and your community. You are an inspiration to all of us. I am pleased now to introduce the Chair of the Human Rights Commission, Kim Hanrahan, who will make our closing remarks.
So as Andrea said, my name is Kim Hanrahan. On behalf of the City of Iowa City Human Rights Commission, I would first like to thank all of the honorees who have been recognized here this evening. I speak for everyone when I say the work you have done and the time you have given to help others is what makes a community successful, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. I would also like to thank the Mayor of Iowa City, James Throgmorton, for his support of our youth. This type of support is very much appreciated and needed. Thank you for your remarks. In the same way, to the nominators, parents, guardians, teachers, and mentors of these youth, thank you for your leadership. Please let's continue to encourage youth to take the time to help others. Before I close the ceremony, I would like to remind all of the recipients to come forward so that we may take a group picture. Afterwards, please join others in the entryway for refreshments. Thank you again for coming.